Colombian hitwoman known as La Muñeca, arrested for string of Gangland killings, Barrancabermeja, Magdalena, Medio, Colombia. Colombian authorities say they have taken down one of the most feared young figures in the country's underworld. A 23-year-old woman known as La Muñeca, the doll, accused of orchestrating multiple murders on behalf of a local criminal gang. The suspect, identified by police as Karen Juliet Ojeda Rodriguez, was captured in early December during an operation by the Magdalena Medio police in the oil city of Barrancabermeja in the northeastern department of Santander. Authorities allege that behind her youthful appearance and nickname was a sicaria, a contract killer tied to a violent network of hitmen serving the gang, Los de la M, a group blamed for a wave of homicides linked to drug and territory disputes in the region. The arrest operation police say Ojeda Rodriguez was arrested in flagrante on or around December 1, 2024, in the Magdalena Medio region. She was detained alongside at least one male suspect known by the alias Leopoldo, and in some reports with another alleged female accomplice, Paula Valentina Joya Rueda, nicknamed Gorda Sicaria. Images from the operation, shared by Departamento de Policia Magdalena Medio, show the young woman handcuffed, dressed in a cropped Las Vegas 91 t-shirt and dark shorts or sweatpants, standing beside armed officers and a table where seized firearms are displayed. During the raid, police seized at least one revolver and a 9mm pistol. Forensic experts are now conducting ballistic tests to determine whether those weapons were used in a series of recent killings in and around Barrancabermeja. With the capture of alias La Muñeca and alias Leopoldo, a period of calm has been created in the region. These arrests mark an advance in the dismantling of criminal structures responsible for the recent homicides, said Col Mauricio Herrera, commander of the Magdalena Medio Police. Following the operation, Ojeda Rodriguez and her alleged accomplices were turned over to Colombia's Attorney General's office for hearings to legalize their detention, formalize charges, and decide on preventive detention measures. Her alleged crimes is a trail of targeted killings. Investigators link La Muñeca to multiple homicides in the Barrancabermeja and broader Santander region, many of them described as selective killings tied to local drug markets and gang conflicts. The most prominent case involves the murder of her ex-boyfriend, identified in local media as David Jesus Garcia Palomino. According to police, on July 23, 2024, he was lured to a rural area of Piedecuesta, Santander, under the pretext of resolving a dispute over money. Once there, he was allegedly ambushed by gunmen on a motorcycle, who opened fire and killed him. Authorities say the assassination was orchestrated by La Muñeca, who is accused of coordinating the meeting and providing information to the shooters. Colombian international outlets report that this was not an isolated act. Investigators believe Ojeda Rodriguez helped plan and coordinate other killings tied to gang disputes, acting as a logistics and command figure rather than always pulling the trigger herself. Several reports describe her as leading a small cell of hitmen who carried out executions ordered by Los de la M, often targeting rivals or individuals who resisted extortion or interfered with the gang's micro-trafficking operations. Because formal indictments are still being processed, authorities have not publicly listed every homicide tied to the group. However, local police link the cell to multiple recent killings in the Barrancabermeja area, where homicide rates have been well above the national average. From teenager to alleged gang enforcer, biographical details about Ojeda Rodriguez are still emerging, but local coverage paints a picture of a young woman who entered the criminal world in her late teens and rose quickly thanks to her willingness to take on dirty work for the gang. Some outlets report that she began working with Los de la M around the age of 18, in a region where paramilitary successors, drug traffickers, and local micro-trafficking groups compete for control. Her alias La Muñeca reportedly comes from a combination of factors: her appearance, her reputation for composure in violent situations, and a media and social media narrative that turned her into a dark, almost fictional figure reminiscent of TV Sicaria characters like Rosario Tijeras. Investigators and journalists say she frequently changed her hair color and style to avoid recognition and used her appearance to move around without drawing suspicion, sometimes posing as a student or young professional while coordinating attacks. As she climbed the ranks, police allege she moved from acting as a courier and lookout to planning hits, selecting targets, coordinating shooters, and managing payments. Some reports suggest she handled the contracting of other hitmen, deciding which gunmen would be hired for specific jobs. Her gang affiliation, Los de la M Ojeda Rodriguez, is widely described as a key operator for Los de la M, a criminal structure based in and around Barrancabermeja. The group has been tied to drug distribution, extortion, and territorial control in rural and urban areas of the Magdalena Medio region. Police say Los de la M maintains a network of young recruits used as lookouts, courier hitmen, with cells that can be mobilized quickly for drive-by shootings and targeted assassinations. La Muñeca is believed to have commanded one such cell, giving her influence over who lived and who died in certain neighborhoods. The group's activities are part of a broader pattern of post-conflict violence in Colombia, where remnants of paramilitary groups, dissident guerrillas, and purely criminal organizations fight for control of strategic corridors and local markets. Authorities frame the arrest of Ojeda Rodriguez and her accomplices as one of the hardest blows dealt to micro-trafficking and hitman networks in Barrancabermeja in recent months. Media hype, social media myths, and official caution. Since her arrest, La Muñeca has become a viral figure on social networks, with clips of her being marched in handcuffs replayed millions of times. Some outlets have portrayed her as a serial killer, or even one of the most dangerous female assassins in history, often using sensational language. However, Colombian authorities have also urged caution, noting that while she is accused of serious offenses, courts have not yet convicted her, and some of the most extreme claims circulating online have not been formally supported by evidence. In previous unrelated cases, police have had to debunk false narratives around alleged female sicarias whose images went viral. Human rights advocates in Colombia argue that media coverage should avoid glorifying or mythologizing figures like La Muñeca, warning that turning contract killers into macabre celebrities can encourage copycats and distort public understanding of the social and economic conditions that fuel crime. What comes next as of now? Formal charges against Karen Juliet Ojeda Rodriguez are still being processed, but prosecutors are expected to seek preventive detention due to the gravity of the alleged crimes and the risk of interference with witnesses or ongoing investigations. Ballistic tests on the seized firearms and further investigative work will be crucial to link specific homicides to her and her purported accomplices. Police also hope that breaking up her cell will lead to more intelligence about Los de la M's hierarchy and connections to other criminal structures. In the meantime, residents of Barrancabermeja and surrounding rural zones are hoping that the fall of La Muñeca will mark the beginning of a decline in the relentless cycle of tit-for-tat killings that has plagued the region, even as many remain wary, knowing that in Colombia's underworld, vacant positions are rarely left unfilled for long. Hoodies are back, fresh and cozy. The cool weather is here, and so are your favorite style hoodies, back just in time for the holiday season. Made with comfort, culture, and confidence in mind. These hoodies make great gifts for friends, family, or yourself. Rock them through fall, winter, and the holidays. Because comfort should always come with style. Why, you'll love them. Urban-inspired design, unisex perfect for both sizes small to 4X limited. Our inventory is limited, so don't delay. Once they're gone, they're gone. Order to enjoy 35% off all our herbal CBD products. Automatically applied at checkout.